Hello, good morning, everyone. How are you? I'm still testing whether the Zoom is working. And then while we are waiting for the speakers, then yeah, you can do other things while we are waiting for the speakers. We will start the session, the cyber class, at 9:30 sharp. Okay. I see is Honglip Goh and Sufara Arnita from UTAR. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay. How are you? You're good. From UTAR, right?
Yeah, we are from Utah.
Okay. Glad to see you. Thank you for joining.
You too.
So I'll be back in 15 minutes, 9:15. Hope the speakers has also joined us in the next 15 minutes. But I already tried my voice and it's clear, right? Then just wait for the two speakers to try their share screen and their voice. And then we will start at 9:30. Good morning, Mr. Khairul. How are you? You should unmute yourself. How are you, Lee Dan?
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Clearly. That's good.
Okay.
Oh, spookish.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Uh, Mr. Khairul, you should unmute first. Wait,
Okay, can you hear
let
me
me
now?
make, yes, I can hear you now.
All
I
right,
will
good.
make both of you, Mr. Khairul and Dr. Komati, as a co-host. Okay.
Okay.
sure.
Thank
So
you.
you will
Thank
be
you.
able to share screen. Okay. Okay. Now, perhaps Miss Dr. Komati, can you try to share screen your presentation?
Okay. Okay. Let
Yes.
me share my screen.
Yes, please.
Can you see it?
Yes. Thank you. Very clear. Now, Mr. Khairul, but
Okay, then.
Dr. Komati should turn off the share screen first.
Okay. I turn off first. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Komati.
Stop share. Okay.
Okay, let me share my screen. So this is my screen. So can you see?
Yes, I
All right.
can. We can.
Okay.
So that's good. So both of the speakers already tried the share screen and the voices. Then yeah, we are ready to start. Just need to wait till 9:30.
Oh,
Sure,
okay.
no problem.
No
Yeah.
problem.
Are you working at home or
Yeah, we're all at home.
okay?
Yeah.
Because of the second lockdown, I heard of the
Yeah,
KL.
but yeah, Selangor is locked down.
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
Cairo is not locked down. Cairo is from a different state.
Oh, I see. Which state are you from, Cairo, or are you located at?
Negeri Sembilan. You know Negeri Sembilan? It is southern to Selangor, southern to Kuala Lumpur. It's
Is that
somewhere
Penang?
60 kilometer from Kuala Lumpur. 1 hour journey.
Okay.
Negeri
I
Sembilan, basically.
Negeri Sembilan. What is the
Yeah.
biggest city there? Because I
Sorry?
asked you, what is the biggest city in the Negeri Sembilan state?
Seremban. Seremban.
Oh, Serang.
Ah,
Yeah, because I only went to KL, Penang, all the tourist objects in Malaysia.
Oh, okay. So you should come here. You should come here to
Yeah,
Seremban, Negeri
we
Sembilan.
actually plan to come to UTAR
Oh, okay.
before the pandemic, but due to pandemic, yeah,
Yeah, sure.
it's
After the
cancelled.
pandemic, please
Yeah, after the pandemic, yeah,
come to
after the
Utah.
pandemic, we plan to visit you,
Sure,
UTAR,
No,
because
no.
last December the UTAR delegates also visit our campus. That's why
Yeah.
we know each other, and then we implement the programs.
Oh, okay.
And
Last
then we
December.
also last December, so
Okay.
2019, yeah.
So, Mr. Amir, may I know how many participants that we have today?
45 registered on the link.
All right.
Yeah, let's see how many are coming.
All right. So basically, they are bachelor
Students,
degree student.
bachelor and some of the postgraduate one.
All right. So,
Yeah.
from which faculty is it?
From two faculties, Faculty of Engineering, Industrial Engineering Department,
All right.
and Faculty of Business and Economics. Normally they are from Operation Management concentration.
All right. Okay. Good. Okay.
So thank you for your time and availability to be the speakers.
Oh, it's a pleasure to join you all.
Yeah,
Thank
definitely.
you. Hopefully, we will see each other someday.
Yeah,
Definitely.
sure.
We have also any program that I will also inform you because your research fields are on the operations management, right?
Yeah,
Mostly, right? Okay.
yeah. Especially Dr. Komati, she's the expert.
And you are a PhD
Cairo.
candidate. You are a PhD candidate, right?
Yeah,
So in which university do you take your PhD degree now?
University Science Islam Malaysia. It
Okay.
is located nearby to KLIA. All right. So
Oh, I see.
yeah, it's one of the public university in Malaysia.
Okay, okay. And you expect to graduate next year, okay?
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Wish me luck.
I'm very sorry. We'll for you.
Thank you.
I also see Liu Dan. I met her in the Zoom meeting also.
Yes,
How
hello.
are you, Liu Dan?
Hello,
How
morning.
are you?
Hi, morning.
Morning, morning, Dr. Komati,
Morning, Dudan.
morning.
Morning.
So, UTAR campus is now also closed down, is it?
Yes.
We are in Selangor area, so it's closed down.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And how many weeks does the lockdown is planned to finish? Or not yet known? Or still unknown?
About until 27
Of October.
October, yeah.
Okay.
But maybe we'll extend because the case is increasing.
Okay, okay. Yeah, the same in Indonesia. I think last month, Jakarta applied not lockdown, but we call it a large-scale social restrictions. And
Yeah.
then that was the second one for Jakarta because they have too many corona cases. That's why the governor applied that PSBB, we call it, the large-scale social restriction, but not the lockdown. Lockdown is totally closed down, right? While this one is, yeah, still 50-50. Activity are still on. Yeah, that is called PSBB in Indonesia. We never applied the lockdown. I think because of the economic reasons. I mean Indonesia.
Yeah. So how is Indonesia right now? Is it
Uh,
good or what?
yeah, still increasing. Still
Still-
increasing. Still increasing. I don't know in the last few days, but last week we have around 3,000 daily cases daily. 3,000 cases daily.
3,000.
Yes.
3,000 cases there.
One
Yeah,
day.
daily 3,000.
Wow.
And
Is that-
in
quite a lot.
Malaysia, you have around how many? 100, around 100, right? 300 or 500, right? And they already
No more.
consider that high, right? How many cases?
Actually now it's 8. Actually now it's 800.
Oh, okay.
800. 800 daily.
But it's still less than Indonesia, 3,000. Even
Yeah.
few weeks ago, 4,000. So that's why.
Take care, both of you.
So yeah, please take care and stay safe, huh?
Yes, of course. But in Surabaya, the cases are decreasing.
Mm,
Yeah.
Good.
And then I'm now in the office.
It's really
Ubaya applies half work from home, meaning that the leaders can enter the campus, while lecturers, if they are old or they are uh, not fit, they can work at home. But mostly they are work at home, while the students are all study from home. We only use Zoom, no offline teaching anymore so far. Till next year.
Till next year.
I mean, till the ministry plans to have the offline early next year, but let's see if the cases are still increasing and still happen. Thing will be postponed, will be extended.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to have, I mean, this kind of planning, right? Because we never know what will happen the next month, isn't it? So
Yes.
it's quite important to have this kind of option too. I think
Yeah.
same goes to Malaysia because, for example, for university, for higher education, they plan to start for physical class, starting from October. But since the number of cases increase suddenly, so I
All
mean,
cancel.
we all cancel and
Okay.
going online again. So, but we see how. Hopefully, the cases will be decrease, and by early next year, so we can go back. I don't know. That will be the thing that we can wish for, isn't it?
Yes,
Everybody
all
will.
of us wish for that one.
Yeah, definitely. Hope for the best. We pray for the best.
Yes. By the way, thank you for using Zoom because in Indonesia we normally use Zoom application. Well, I know on UTAR you normally use Microsoft Teams, right? As Liban said, yeah. So yeah, sometimes it takes time to adapt with the new application.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, thank you. So we will wait another 5 minutes. I will take some water. If you wanna take some water, Mr. Khairul, please do so. We will be back in the next 5 minutes, but literally we are ready to start because the both speakers already tried the share screen and also the voices. Okay, so 5 minutes time. I will take some water. You can also take some coffee or water.
Sure. I have mine here.
Okay. I will take. For other other participants, we will start in the next 5 minutes. You can take some coffees or snacks or water. Please do so. I'll be back in the next 5 minutes. Okay. Okay, Mr. Khairul and Dr. Komati, ready to start?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Start,
thank
man.
you. A very warm welcome and good morning to all participants of the Ubaya UTAR Cyberclass1, titled Green Operations and Quality Management. Also, good morning and very warm welcome to the two speakers from University Tunku Abdul Rahman Utara Malaysia, Dr. Komati Munusami and Mr. Khairul Anwar Rusli, PhD candidate, and also colleagues from UTAR, Ms. Ridan. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
May all be healthy and under his protection. I am Ajit Kusuma. I am one of the lecturers at the Ubaya Faculty of Business and Economics, who will be the host for this session in the next 90 minutes. Today, Ubaya is really honored and happy to gather all of you online and also to be able to organize the first cyber class with the topic on operations management in collaboration with University Tunku Abdul Rahman, Malaysia. And I believe as this is the first, then there will be second, third, and so on in the near future. And I also believe that Ubaya and UTAR would have a fruitful collaboration. This session will last approximately 90 minutes, where I will ask the two speakers to deliver their thoughts for 30 minutes each, and then it will be continued with around 15 till 20 minutes question and answers, and then the session will conclude with group photos, where I will ask you later on to turn on the video, and then yeah, we will take photos. We will send also the photo results on all email that you already registered. Today, we have two speakers, as I mentioned. First is Dr. Komati Munusami. Let me share screen her resume. Can you see my share screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Dr. Munusami is currently an assistant professor in the Department of International Business, UTAR. She teaches courses in operations management, supply chain management, research method, and principal management at undergraduate and master levels. She has supervised numerous MBA and bachelor degree students in the field of organizational behavior, operations, and marketing management. As a lecturer, she has also published papers and involved in many activities related to the research grant funded by the university. While Dr. Khairul is now a PhD candidate, and he is now a lecturer in Department of International Business, Faculty of Accountancy and Management, UTAR, with more than 10 years teaching experience. He graduated in Master of Science of Management from University Putra Malaysia in 2012, and before joining UTAR, he served at University Sultan Zainal Abidin and University Putra Malaysia. He also teaches in international logistics, operation management, supply chain, and organizational behavior and management. His research interests includes green operation, supply chain, and halal supply chain, and all related areas. So without a further ado, Now I welcome Dr. Komati Munusami to deliver her thought. Please,
Thank you so
Dr.
much.
Komati.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, before I start, I would like to share the screen first, yeah?
Okay, please. Let me also set the, for the participants, let me also set that all of you are muted. So in order not to distract the speakers when they deliver their thoughts. Okay.
Okay, allow me to start now.
Yes, please. Please,
Okay.
Dr.
Okay,
Komati.
good morning, everyone. Good morning, students. It's glad that UTAR is having a collaboration with Ubaya University. As this is the first time, I hope that we can have more collaboration and cyber classes like this so that we are able to explore more opportunities around. Okay, so without wasting any time, I will go into my topic today. I will give you a brief view of what is quality management and how this is important for operational activities. Now, allow me to okay, so class, the topic that I've chosen today is quite interesting because each and every organization view quality as an important tonic, as a wonderful tonic. Now, why we call it as tonic? Because it gives them a way to improve their operational activities, which leads to profit making at the end of the day. So class, managing quality is a very demanding task for organizations. So we all talk about quality. So even we, when we are actually, in a supermarket environment and you want to purchase something, we always go for quality products. So do you ever ask yourself, why do you want to go for this? Okay, so same goes to organizations. So knowing that customers go for quality product, so therefore they know that quality is a demanding task that they need to fulfill in order to gain customers. So now let me take an example, class. Okay, let's take an example of Dell computers. Now, all of you, I believe that you all know that many organizations or all organizations, they actually try to build successful competitive strategies. So when I say competitive strategies, it could be like differentiation, low cost, and response strategy. So you all have to know that both these strategies and quality is all interconnected strongly among each other. Now, for example, like Dell. Now, if you analyze Dell, if you read the case study, you will know that Dell is focusing more on response strategy. So response is one of the strategy they actually go for in order to get the products as fast as possible to the customers. So here, class, you will know that even though Dell has got all these fantastic strategies being built, it is impossible for them to materialize this if they don't have good management quality system. So Dell able to take this up because they have good quality system. So with that, there is little rework that they need to do, okay, and allows Dell to achieve rapid throughput throughout their production plan. So therefore, we can see that quality and strategy are really connected among each other. Okay, so class, let's move on. So let me just show you this slide, okay? Now, so when I say quality, okay, so all of us will think that, okay, probably quality is the role of the quality inspector to check for the quality, whether the product has got good quality or not. But the true fact is quality is actually the responsibility of each and every individual in the organization. So we say this because quality is the key success factor for the firm. So when we say that, it means that okay, each and every individual in the organization needs to make sure that each and every job that is being done, okay, is of good quality. So it's the responsibility of each and every one in the organization. So how does this start? Okay, so let's see how this quality is being is taken off in the organization. So first thing, okay, as you can see in this slide, the strategy begins with the organization culture. Okay, so the culture itself. So what is a culture? So all of us know that culture is a norm, practice, beliefs that takes place in the organization. So before you can actually have a quality environment in the organization, the culture must allow you to have this quality in them. Yeah? So to foster quality, it begins with the organization culture. Now, once you have that, second, you must have the principles of quality. Each and every one in the organization needs to understand what are the principles of quality in the organization. Then comes how to get employees to engage in all the activities that is able to implement quality throughout their work or throughout their activity. So whatever necessary activity needs to be implemented so that quality can be upheld. So with all these practices, okay, we are able to go towards improved quality. So therefore, class, building a quality is not an easy job for operational activities. In fact, it is a very demanding task. So organizations are built to achieve quality, okay, at the end of the day. So we would say that, okay, building quality is not just one person's job or a team's job or even a quality management job, but it's the job of the entire organization. Okay, so before we move on with with quality, let me just give you an introduction of how do we define quality. So class, when we talk about quality, okay, there are many definitions for quality. Okay, there is no single definition about how are we going to describe quality. So generally, what quality guru says, for example, like Crossby, according to him, he says that quality is conformance to requirement or specification. Now, when you talk, Juran, on the other hand, said that quality is fitness for use. So what are they trying to say? Okay, what are they trying to say at the end of the day? Okay, so basically, when we put this together, we can say that the quality is basically the ability of a particular product or service to fulfill or even exceed its intended use as required by the customer. So when you're able to fulfill what is needed by the customer, then you can expect the product as a good quality product. Okay, so at the end of the day, you have to build a product that satisfies the needs of the customers, that fulfills the need of the customers. So it's not going to be an easy job for manufacturing or even could be for the production or even the service industry. Now let's take an example here, class. Okay, now if you look at this example, okay, so I've given you two different models of camera. Now if you are a professional camera photographer, if you're a professional photographer, okay, if I have given you the second one, okay, the smaller version, the second one, now you wouldn't have the satisfaction because it doesn't allow you to fulfill your job as a photographer. It's not, you're not able to carry out and become a good photographer. So in that sense, you're not able to satisfy your need or your requirement. So you would say that that particular product is not of good quality. So you will go for the first one, for example, which gives you more, which is more sophisticated, which allows you to actually do whatever photographing that you need to fulfill your customer's requirement. But if you are a beginner, okay, if you are a beginner and you are just trying to use a camera, for example, then in that case, you will find that the second one is much more easier. Okay, you're able to use that much easier compared to the first one. So each of us have got our own intended needs. So that particular product at the end of the day must fulfill our intended needs, must fulfill what is required by the customer. So that is the ultimate aim of building a product with good quality. Okay, so before we further discuss what is quality, now let's just have a view of what is exactly production and what is operation management all about. So I believe that all of you know, right? Now, when it comes to production, this is all about converting or transforming the input or resources to a finished good, a final product or services. So it's all about input, conversion process going into output. Okay. Now, when it involves this conversion process, there is a lot of operational management activities that needs to be carried out in order for you to convert this input into output. So as an operation manager, you have to do things like inventory planning, production planning. Okay, you have to even design the product. You must get the right product to the market. So you have all these product development, product design. Now, all these are the conversion process that is involved, okay, that needs to be planned, that needs to be managed in order for you to be able to convert it into a final output. So therefore, we can say that operation management is actually the process of overseeing how the production process is being managed, okay, by looking at the people, machineries that convert the materials and resources into finished goods and services. Okay, so that is about production and operation management. Okay, now let's go into quality management principles. Okay, now before we go further, okay, now you have to understand the quality management principles. So quality management principles here actually refers to the critical elements in the operational activities that needs to be in place so that you're able to achieve a quality product. Okay, so when I say to able to achieve quality product, it means that you're able to deliver a product that meets the requirement of the user. So the quality management principles that I have actually given you, we have 7 of these. Okay, we have customer focus, leadership, empowerment, process approach, continuous improvement, decision making, and relationship management. So all these are the 7 principles that needs to be in place. So we can say that these are the fundamental beliefs, norms, rules, or value that are in place or accepted so that you're able to achieve your quality management activities. So class, when we talk about these quality management principles, we can also say that these are the foundation that gives or guide us in order to achieve performance via a better quality practices in the organization. So let's look at the first point. Okay, now the first point is talking about customer focus. Now, as I've given you earlier in the definition, okay, the overall aim of us having a quality product is because of wanting to fulfill customers' requirements. So therefore, that is the main focus of quality management. It's always there is a need to meet customers' requirements. So all organizations always strive to exceed customers' expectation. You want to make sure that the product fulfill what is needed by customers in the market. So you really have to understand the current needs of the customers. Not only that, you also have to understand the future needs of the customers in order for you to survive in the environment, in the market. Now, by doing this, okay, the organization able to create customer value, able to create customer satisfaction, even you are able to get customer loyalty, you are able to have repeat purchase, which eventually will increase the reputation of the organization. So when you have good reputation because of your known quality element, therefore you are able to obtain a good revenue or profit at the end of the day. Okay, so therefore we can conclude that organization should be able to balance the approach about satisfying customers' need and meeting other other requirement in the organization. So the main focus is customers. So you have to fulfill what is needed by the customers. Now, so class, customers, as we know, is the main focus. Now, nothing will take place without having a good leaders. Okay, so leaders are the one that will actually support, motivate, set the goals. Okay, create teamwork. Direct the entire team. Okay, show a unity of purpose. Create coordinations in which people are all brought together, or all the employees are brought together to engage in order to achieve the ultimate goal. What is the ultimate goal? To achieve quality objective of that particular organization. So not only thinking about having good focus, customer focus, the leaders themselves, okay, must establish good direction, good unity of purpose so that the entire objective of being a quality organization can be achieved. So the direction and engagement enable the entire organization to align its strategies, okay, in order to achieve what is needed at the end, that is quality products. So therefore, class, the job of a leader is to create a good quality systems so that they're able to deliver a good system which gives them a better or good results, which ultimately gives them a good performance throughout the organization. Okay, there comes empowerment. So you have good product that meets customers' requirement. You have good leaders, but nothing works without employees. Okay, so the next job or the next requirement is empowerment. Okay, now empowerment is all about getting all the employees in the organization to be competent, to be skillful, to be engaged, to deliver what is needed by the organization. So this gives the organization a capability at the end of the day to create value for their customers. So nothing works without employees. So empowerment is another thing that you have to look at, okay, before you think about establishing quality in the organization. Okay, that is the third one. Okay, then we talk about a process approach. Now, a process approach is, of course, understanding all the processes, resources, interaction, control that takes place in the organization, which allows the organization to transform the input into output. Okay, so this gives the organization to visualize, okay, or to see what are the action that needs to be taken in order to achieve the desired quality goals or objective that has been set. So ultimately, this will all link to good performance in the organization. Okay, so class, when you talk about process approach, this actually enhances the ability to focus on the effort, the main effort of the organization, which is to give a better product, or to actually deliver a product that meets the expectation of the customers. Okay, so we have talked about all these all these principles. Now let's move on to another one. Okay, now continuous improvement. Okay, so class, once you have achieved what is needed, we will not stop there. Okay, continuous improvement is an important element in quality management. So successful organizations should always have an ongoing focus on improvements. They will always find ways how to make improvement. So when we say improvement, so what are the things that you're going to improve in the organization? So we can actually categorize them according to, like, for example, definitely you have to make improvements to your production process. You have to make improvements to your machineries, tools, equipments. You have to make improvements to your product, which is important, class, because your product will change according to the accordingly, because the environment is so dynamic. Okay, so what you produce now may not last for the next few months, or even few years, or even few months. Okay, so not only that, you also have to think about how you can improve your people. So if you don't think about improving your people, so by having good technology, improving your product does not help, because your people are not being educated or trained to cope up with the improvement. So there should be a continuous improvement in terms of process, machine, okay, your product, as well as your people. Okay, so this is a very important essential requirement to maintain the performance of the organization. So you want to perform, you want to be the best in the market at all time, you have to keep on reacting to the changes that takes place in the environment. So you have to create, by taking up these changes, by adapting to these changes, you're actually trying to create opportunities. So you're creating a capabilities in order for you to meet the needs and requirement of your customers. Okay, so that is continuous improvement. Okay, the next important element in quality management principles is decision making. Now, all of us have to make decisions. So when it comes to decision making, it's going to be very complex. Now, why do I say it's going to be very complex? Because we all fall in an environment which is very uncertain. Okay, now why do we say it's very uncertain? Because there are certain things that is beyond our control. Now, of course, we are able to control whatever that takes place in the organization, but whatever takes place outside the organization in the environment is very uncertain. Okay, we don't have enough information. Okay, so therefore we fall into uncertainty. Now, to avoid or to minimize the risk of uncertainty, okay, we must always make decision based on evidence. So when we say evidence, that means you must have enough data that has been gathered before you're able to make any decisions or any changes that needs to be made in the organization. So what I'm trying to say here is that whatever things that you make about a decision, that should be based on a solid data that you have gathered, that should be analyzed and evaluated, okay, so that you're able to make you're able to make decisions confidently. Yeah? So therefore, by doing that, you're able to actually produce desired results and able to move towards performance in the organization. So decision making is also very important. And remember, when you make decision, it should be based on solid data, informations, okay, that has been gathered and analyzed and evaluated so that your decisions that you make is valid at the end of the day. Okay, and finally is relationship management. Okay, so when we talk about relationship management, okay, so there are a lot of changes that takes place in the operation management. So when we talk about previously what we did and how we are now, there is totally two different things. So for example, okay, previously we talk about manufacturing, we talk about production, we talk about operation, we talk about buying in bulk. So we know that when you buy in bulk, okay, you're able to save in terms of obtaining discount. So you buy in bulk, so you end up having a huge file of inventory. But when we move to today's environment, we talk about zero inventory because we know that inventory is a cost to the organization. So at all time, we try to avoid inventory. So we go for concepts like JIT, okay, just in time production and so on. So when we are in that kind of era with that kind of concepts, relationship management is very, very important. Okay, so we especially a good relationship with the suppliers. Okay, so when we okay, so when we have this good relationship, all these concepts like GIT, Kaizen and all that can actually materialize easily because you have tied up a good relationship with the supplier. So when I say a good relationship, what does that mean? That means, okay, you and your supplier, okay, should share resources at all time. So you must have information about, okay, what is your demand, what is your focus, okay, how competent are both of you in the market, how are you going to manage quality. So all this needs to be managed together, okay, so so that means, in other words, the supplier is also a part of your entity now. Okay, so therefore class, this leads to good, okay, we can say that this leads to a good supply chain activities at the end of the day. So in today's operational activities, relationship management is one of the important elements. So definitely we cannot neglect that. Okay, so these are the 7 important principles, okay, when it comes to quality management. Okay, so let's move on. So class, why quality is important at the end of the day? Okay, so all of us know that the aim of having a quality product is to make sure that whatever that you produce is able to maintain customers' satisfaction and loyalty. Okay, so by doing that, you're able to have, a good profit, good performance within the organization. So when you have good quality products, at the end of the day, you will be able to also minimize your cost of quality. So what do you mean by cost of quality? Now, there are a lot of, when you read them, there are a lot of costs associated with cost of quality. For example, okay, when you are actually having a faulty product and the product reaches the hand of customer, okay, and the customer is the one that discovered the fault, the faulty goods or product, okay. So if that reaches, okay, the cost that you're going to face is huge, because the product, okay, the faulty product is actually on the hand of the consumer. So therefore your reputation will be gone. So if that happens, okay, you have to work very hard to build back your reputation. So we would say that quality actually builds a reputation for the organization. It gives you some kind of accreditation, okay, with the recognized quality standard, okay, within your organization. So in an event where that particular organization launches any new product, just because of its known reputation for quality, it gains, it reaches consumers much easier compared to organizations which has bad reputation in terms of quality. Okay, so class, all of us know that good quality is being built so that you're able to satisfy customers' satisfaction. So as an organization, you want to have a good improved quality because you want to have good profit, okay, at the end of the day. So greater quality, okay, at the end of the day reduces the manufacturing cost, okay. You will have low scrap levels, less rework, and reduced raw material costs. So with all these reduced costs, okay, and increase in sales, it gives you a better profit at the end of the day. So all this happens because the quality is being implemented in the organization. So quality is in fact a very important element in the organization. So if you look at some of these big multinational companies like General Electric, General Motors, okay, they are able to survive now and they're able to be so competitive up to what they are now is because of the quality culture that they have in the organization. Okay, so in the end of the day, class, quality, even though it's a very demanding task for organization, but organization cannot neglect the fact that quality is an important tool or tonic for performance within the organization. Okay, so that ends my presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Komati, for your presentation about quality. Dr. Komati discussed about quality management, where she mentioned that in order to be able to produce good quality products, a company needs to have a culture first. If the company has no culture related to the quality, then it would be difficult for the company to be able to produce a good quality product. And then the quality itself is everyone's responsibility, not one's responsibility. And then she also discussed about the 7 quality management principle. The first one was about the customer focus, means that our goods need to fulfill what the customer wants. Then the second one is about the leadership. In order to be able to produce good quality products, you need to have a good leaders that will direct us, help us, liaise us, empower us to reach what the good quality is. And the next one was the empowerment. We need to have employees, workers that are empowered in order for them to maximize their performance. And then the next one, the fourth one was about the process. You need to have a good process, remarkable process in order for the company to be able to produce good quality product. Of course, after we already have a good quality product, because of the high demanding market situation, we need to always continue or always improve our product. We cannot stop there, but we need to always improve, and it is called continuous improvement. And the sixth one was about the decision making, where she mentioned that it is critical to take a decision, but when we take decision or make decision, we need to be based on an analysis to to a reliable data. So data is very important or critical. And the last one is about the relationship management, where supplier relationship with supplier is important because of the need of the zero inventory. Also, if I may add, customer relationship management with the customer is also critical.
Yeah.
I think that's a brief conclusion of Dr. Komati. And then now I will continue to Mr. Khairul. And then after Mr. Khairul, we can have a question and answer session. Mr. Khairul, please, time is yours.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairperson. Let me share my screen first. All right, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello, Assalamualaikum and selamat pagi. All right, so my name is Khairul Anwar Rusli, a lecturer from Department of International Business, Faculty of Accountancy and Management, University Tunku Abdul Rahman, UTAR, Malaysia. So basically, this is Ubaya UTAR Cyberclass #1. So I believe that, as mentioned by Dr. Komati just now, I hope this is not will be the first and the last one. In the future, we can arrange more discussion. I mean, this quite interactive discussion in the future between UTAR and also Ubaya, because this type of discussion definitely will be beneficial for both parties. All right. So basically, the topic today is about operation, as shared by Dr. Komati just now about quality management. So my topic will be more on operation, okay, but in specific green operation. All right. So before we start, I hope that our session today can be more interactive in terms of two-way communication. If you have anything, let's say that you want to ask something, or maybe when I ask you something, if you want to answer, please you may type in the chat box. So I will try my best to read your comments or your answer in the chat box. I hope, can we do that? Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good. Okay. Before that. Yeah, participants. So because I think this is quite important for us. So if you have anything, or maybe when I ask you something, maybe your opinion or whatsoever, you may type in the chat box and I will try to read it. Okay. So basically, number one, may I know what's your favorite color? Anyone here? Okay. Anyone here love color, blue color or red color? Or maybe anyone here love green? All right, like, as you can see, my shirt today that I'm wearing now, it's a green color, because for me, green is not just a color. Okay, it's my life, you know, because basically my research or my PhD is about green. All right, so when we talk about green, so it's very close to my heart. Right, so that's why I choose the specific topic today is green operation, Malaysian SMEs dilemma. So SMEs meaning that small medium enterprise. Okay. Okay, so basically in operation, as we discussed with Dr. Komati just now, a lot of process, a lot of stages, a lot of stakeholder involved. All right, so it is basically from input, going to process or transformation process, and going to output, whether you are a business who produce product or whether you are a business who offering services, isn't it? So throughout the process, okay, we have a lot of things to consider. All right, one of it is your impact. Okay, again, your impact to the environment. Okay, so that's why green is equally to environment. So that's why green in this case is referring to the environments. Okay, environmental approach in terms of management and practices. So basically, in many organizations, they have noticed that, or they have recognized that this is important of green practices. Again, green practices refer to environmental practices to reduce the environmental impact in terms of their production, in terms of their processes, and also maybe in terms of their products. So most of the company, they consider about green because we only have one single earth, isn't it? We don't have another earth so that we can live in, right? So basically, that's why it is important for business to consider all these things. So basically in operation management, because a lot of stages involved, a lot of process involved, a lot of stakeholder involved. So we need to know how we can make sure the process is green enough. Okay, how we want to make sure the process is environmental friendly enough. Okay, so that in the future we can conserve, okay, the environment. All right, so basically in green, okay, there's a few terms, right? For example, in operation, there are a few terms that maybe you are familiar with. Number one is the sustainability, isn't it? Right? So basically sustainability is more or less is a triple bottom line. Okay, number one, it is a sustainable in terms of economy. Okay, meaning that your financial, your profit and loss and so on and so forth, your performance, your financial performance, that is sustainable in terms of financial. Second, sustainable in terms of environment. Okay, meaning that whatever you use today, you need to make sure it is have minimum impact to the environment. And the last one in triple bottom line theory or TBL, it is a social sustainability, meaning that you conserve, you preserve your culture, your social relationship, and so on and so forth. But for this cyber class number 1 today, we want to talk more on green, meaning that the second sustainable dimension in triple bottom line. Okay, so how you want to make sure, that our process, whether you are producing goods or whether you are offering services, is green enough. So there's a few reasons, there are a few factors that might affect your action. So basically, in doing green, in practicing green, we cannot do it separately. All right. So green practice must be done simultaneously with the normal operation, as mentioned by Dr. Komati just now. Let's say we want to make sure we produce the best quality product. Again, there is a quality is a very subjective, isn't it? As long as you meet or you exceed your customer satisfaction, it is a quality product, isn't it? For example, your smartphone. Who here are using iPhone? Anyone here using iPhone? I believe some of you are using iPhone, isn't it? Maybe some of you using Samsung, like me. All right. So how we can make sure, hey, why you use Samsung? Because iPhone is better. iPhone is better in terms of quality. All right. So that is the case. All right. Because as long as your smartphone can fulfill your demand and can fulfill the basic function, so it is quality enough. Right. So again, in green, so we need to make sure we do the green practices incorporate with the normal operation practices. So that is the best practice. We need to integrate. We cannot do it separately. Okay, we need to integrate the practice. Okay, so that it can be done. That's why there's as mentioned by Dr. Komati just now, we need to empower. There must be a leadership. All right, so green and quality definitely something that bound together. All right. Okay, so this is because I want to share the Malaysian scenario and so on and so forth, right? So basically, this is the data that I got from since 2011. All right, so meaning that long time ago, we already, or Malaysian especially, they have a plan to become one of the top green country in terms of manufacturing, or we call it a green manufacturing country. All right, so basically, they have 3 stages. All right, number 1, up to 2015, we want to discuss or we want to focus on the green energy utilization. Okay, renewable energy. All right, and so on. All right, so the percentage is 10%. All right, so next, the second stage, they want to focus on the green product and certification. All right, so basically the product, okay, like example in Malaysia, we have the certification body, SIRIM. Okay, this SIRIM, they are the one who handle all these ISO. For green, definitely ISO 14000. All right. So this second stage, 2020 to 2025, we want to focus on producing more green product and certification. Certification is not only for the product, but certification also related to the practices. All right, the best practice. Okay, as I mentioned by Dr. Komati just now, we need to make sure there is a continuous improvement. As you learn in operation management class, what we call that one? Kaizen. All right, Kaizen in a Japanese word, isn't it? So Kaizen basically is a continuous improvement. So at the last stage, or maybe the end of this plan, 2030, Malaysia want to make sure there is a green industrial processes. So the whole industry itself need to be green. All right, so that is stage by stage that planned by the Malaysian government, and I believe Indonesian government also might be, if not same, it's not 100% the same. It might be similar because we are in the same region. Okay, our economic industry activities are almost the same. So basically, this is the thing that we can learn each other. That's why I said, I hope in the future we have a lot of session like this so that we can change our opinion, our experience, and so on and so forth. Okay, so basically in the operation also, we cannot, this is also the same, I mean the popular term in operation, what we call supply chain management. So basically what is supply chain? All right, so supply chain is basically in a layman term, from farm to the fork, from farm to the table. All right, for example, one manufacturer, they're producing a chicken nugget, right? So the chicken nugget is the manufacturer. So this chicken nugget, they buy the products or the raw material from their supplier. Okay, as you can see the diagram here. So the raw material might be come from the chicken poultry. All right, so there's the chicken poultry go to the to the slaughterhouse. All right, so maybe they're going to the chicken meats factory, then go to the manufacturer who are producing the chicken nugget. Then it's go after we finish, we produce the product, go for the output. So we go for distribution. Then sometimes we go to the retail and also to the end user. So basically this is supply chain. So this supply chain, it's involved a lot or numbers of stages. And each of these stages, you can make it green. Do you believe me? Yeah, we can make it green. And because of this topic today, we focus on small, medium enterprise. So in Malaysia, we have three different levels. Number one is the micro, second is small, and the third one is medium enterprise, meaning that small, medium industry. So basically this small, medium enterprise, they can be anywhere. Maybe here in the first stage, maybe here in the second stage, maybe here in the third stage, or maybe as a distributor, or maybe as a retailer, or yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? So this small, medium enterprise, they can be anywhere. That's why it is important. We want to make sure all the stages in supply chain, at least they do some green practices. What is green practices again? It is we want to reduce the environmental impact. Okay, we want to reduce the environmental impact in terms of our product and also in terms of our process. So basically what I'm trying to share here with you is a part of my research, but we try to elaborate it in terms of the lecture notes. All right. So when we discuss about green, we discuss about small, medium enterprise, some people ask me, hey, Cik Khairul, so what? So what? What's the important thing we want to study about green? What is the important thing we want to study about small, medium enterprise? Let them be. So that is number one. Okay. So I answer them politely and saying that number one, most of the research they focus on the large company. All right. So the large company. So definitely smaller company or SMEs, you cannot say they have a different characteristic. Maybe in terms of their resources, maybe in terms of their capability, maybe in terms of their technology, manpower, capital, and so on and so forth. So basically, they are also important. Again, as I mentioned to you, for example, let's say the manufacturer itself here is a big company. Okay, they are multinational company, for example. But do you know that some of their suppliers are SMEs? Some of their suppliers, or maybe I can say if not a majority, but some of the suppliers are small, medium enterprise. They are small company who supply to this big company as to which is the manufacturer. So that's why I said it is important to study, or it is important to know what are the factors, what are the reasons for this small, medium enterprise to go green. What are the challenges? What are the barriers? What are the things that they can do and they cannot do, and so on and so on. What are the dilemma? So that is the thing. All right. So especially most of the study focus on developed country. Like developing country, like maybe there are few studies, but it's not comprehensive yet. All right. So second, SME face significant pressure to improve their environmental performance, as I mentioned just now, because these SMEs, this small company, their customer is the big company. So this big company, they want to make sure that they remain relevant. They want to take care of their image, and so on and so forth. So they have their ISO 14000 and so on and so forth. So they need to make sure also their supplier, which is the small company, small medium enterprise, need to follow some of their requirement. Okay. So basically, this is the area that I think there's a gap there that we need to explore to find out what happened among the small medium enterprise. So again, this is a part of my research, but we try to make it in terms of the lecture. So number one, we need to know what are the critical factors. Okay, why? Why this small medium industry, they don't participate in green, or why they participate in green? So we never know that. All right. Second, what are the practices that they implement? Right? Is it any specific practices? And the third one, definitely how this critical factor affect the adoption of green practices. So again, people ask me, hey, what's wrong with the SME, right? So what? So this is when you do research, when you do operation, people will always ask you, so what, and so what? So that's normal. Don't get frustrated and so on and so forth. So when people ask you something like this, you come up as an academia. You also a very good student because I was informed that you are from Faculty of Engineering and also Faculty of Faculties of Business and Economica. You are definitely a good student, right? So you answer them with fact. Okay, number one is 98.3 business in Malaysia are small medium enterprise, and I believe maybe in Indonesia there is also the same numbers, right? And these small medium enterprise, they contribute 32.5 national GDP, gross domestic product. So it's quite a lot actually. Even though they are small size, but they contribute a lot, right? Their contribution is significant. And the most important thing is the third one, 73.6 environmental protection expenditure by the Malaysian government budget last 2018. So basically it goes to the small medium enterprise. Government spend a lot of money for this small medium enterprise to make sure they also involved in green practices so that we can work together to take care of the country. All right. So basically this is among the reason. Okay. If you can see here, what we call the news clipping that I share here. So this is about the chemical dumping, and this one, the second one is about 5 billion fund to develop green industry. This is all the effort. Malaysian government have spent a lot of money, and the problem is still happen again and again. So we need to know what are actually the underlying dilemma for the Malaysian small enterprise. So basically, this is the methodology. This is, we go through briefly. We did interview. We focus on SME manufacturer, as I mentioned just now. But this study, the case study that I did, I focus on electrical and electronic industry. Why? This also is quite interesting because Malaysian is, we are well known with this electrical and electronic industry products. Okay, we produce a lot of capacitor, transistor, and all these electrical products. We are very popular with that. So, and also in this industry, there are a lot of chemical usage in terms of the component. I give you one example. Okay, I give you one example. To produce a capacitor or to produce something in your smartphone, okay, there is one component we call as capacitor. So basically capacitor, the traditional way we need to use plumber. Okay, plumber, PB. If you know, you check the chemical formula and so on and so forth, there's a PB, there's a plumber. So basically plumber, it is hazardous to the environment. So in certain country, especially in the Western country and also developed country, they have stated it clearly. You cannot use this kind of a chemical when you want to export your product to their country. So that is the case. So basically, electrical and electronic industry, they'll use a lot of these chemical things and so on and so forth. So what I did was I conduct an interview with I think some of the representative from the factory, from the SME and so on and so forth. But to answer this, definitely we focus on the people who are in the top management because they know the whole picture, all right, the whole picture of the production process in their factory. So again, all right, this is the stakeholder theory. So we have to, okay, this one we get back to the basic operation concept. So we have to, number one is internal stakeholder, the staff, the manager, and also the owners. And we have also external stakeholder, all right, in terms of suppliers, society, government, creditor, shareholder, and customer. All right, so we asked, when we did study, we asked all about every single stakeholder. But for this, number one, the first class for Ubaya UTAR Cyberclass, I want to focus on only one stakeholder because the rest we need to arrange another time. All right. So in this session, I want to focus for government. All right, or governance. Okay. So government or governance. We focus on the administration, the policy, the responsibility, the ethics, and also so on and so forth. All right. So I believe, based on reading, and also based on your experience, based on my experience, based on my interview, all the data collection, and so on and so forth, I believe there is we found that there is a very important that we can relate with the government or the government itself. So there's a what we call very popular quote, right? I believe teenagers like you very familiar with this. They call it "just do it," isn't it? There is one company who used this tagline, right? We cannot say it. I mean, I don't want to say the name, but definitely you know which company who used this tagline, "just do it." But in our case, all right, I found that maybe we can change it a little bit. From "just do it," we go with "just green it." All right. So what's so special about green? Green is just a color. Okay. So we go to the next slide. Seeing that green basically is an acronym for G is governance, R reinforcement, E is empowerment, E for environmental rating, and the last one N for networking. So I will go one by one in the briefly. Okay. So as I mentioned, we have a lot of stakeholders that affect the SMEs to go green. Okay. But in this cyber class number 1, I focus on the government factor, government as a stakeholder. So number 1, the governance. Based on the interview and also the data collection, we found that the SMEs, they mentioned to me saying that some of the rules and regulation by the Malaysian government are not tailored specific for SMEs. The rule is for all, meaning that the big company also apply to the rule, the small company also apply to the rule. Again, we check back with the first definition of small medium enterprise. They have a lack of resources, they have different capabilities, they have a very definitely a small size, less annual sales turnover, and so on and so forth. So basically what SME needs is something that is special made for them. All right, so in terms of the governance. All right, so second, reinforcement. Okay, reinforcement. One of the reasons also that they mentioned to me is in terms of the monitoring. All right, because maybe in terms of monitoring, it is not frequently happen. Okay, it's not frequently happen. And the best part is some of them say they are willing to pay the compound, they are willing to pay the penalty. Let's say they found you guilty, your factory, a lot of waste. They come and check, audit your factory. They found that there's a lot of waste produced by your factory. So they said, okay, you need to pay 10,000 ringgit Malaysia, for example. And some of this company, they're willing to pay the 10,000 ringgit Malaysia rather than to install the green technology machine, because the green technology machine cost them higher compared to pay the fees. Pay the penalty, 10,000 ringgit. So that is in terms of reinforcement, they need to consider back. Next, empowerment. This one also, as mentioned by Dr. Komati just now, because because the industry, the business, they are evolving from day to day. There are a lot of material being produced. There are a lot of new technology being created. So some of them, they need to make decision faster. So in empowerment, so for example, there are some cases saying when they refer to the agency, the government agency who related with this green issue, the government agency will take longer time to respond back. All right, so business, every second is money, isn't it? So that's why they want to make their own decision. But of course, empowerment, you are free to make your own decision. You are accountable for your decision. All right, so that is the thing. The second E is environmental rating. All right, so but this one is actually being implemented now. So they want to have, let's say, 5-star company, 3-star company, and so on and so forth. So because this will bring a good image. Okay, they should bring a good image for their businesses. So when the big company want to look for supplier, which is among the SMEs, so definitely go for 5-star rating company, isn't it? All right. And the last one is like the networking. They want to have a very good networking among them, because in business, we cannot do it alone. All right. Okay. You cannot do it alone. You are interdependent with others. All right. For example, if you learn operation, there are few approach, supplier strategy that you may use. For example, arm length approach, many supplier or single supplier approach, and so on and so forth. Networking, I think we can apply like your Facebook account. Okay, I believe most of you have your own Facebook account, isn't it? So Facebook account, let's say I open my your Facebook account, so I check your name, then I can see who's your friend, isn't it? Then I click on your friends, then I can see who's the friends. So it's just like the supply chain. So from one name, I can find out many persons, right? So this is the networking they are looking for among the SMEs. All right. So basically, this is again the finding that maybe we can implement, maybe we can improve a little bit. That's why I said it is important. Green is not just a color, but by doing green, we can solve a lot of things. All right. So basically, in this study, in this case study, what we do is we provide the understanding on what happened among the small medium enterprise. Okay, because they are important, they contribute a lot to the national GDP, and their percentage also high. Okay, more than 70% in the industry. So since we have this kind of discussion or cyber class, I believe that especially for those students or maybe they are lecturer from Ubaya here, so I think it's good if we can compare, because my case study here is only limited to the electrical and electronic industry. Right? Maybe we can go for another industry, for example, chemical industry, woods industry, and so on and so forth. Because each industry they might have their own reason, and they might have practiced something different compared to electrical industry. Because every industry have their own practices, isn't it? All right. And also the last one, I think, as I mentioned just now, because we are in the same region, our economic activity is almost the same. Okay, so what we can do, maybe we look into the Indonesian as small medium enterprise. So we try to learn from each other. I think this is the important things about knowledge. We learn from each other. All right, so this is among the potential area to explore. Okay, so I think that's all for my session. So again, if people ask you one day, you as a student, university student, and so on and so forth, hey, what government can do to control this pollution, environmental problem, and so on and so forth? So remember one thing, just green it. Okay, just green it. All right, so I think thank you. Sampai jumpa. See you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Khairul. So just green it, not just do it. It was interesting to know that in Malaysia, SME is also the most dominant business sectors. Mr. Khairul mentioned that 95% of the business are MSMEs, or medium, small enterprises. While in Indonesia, according to the Central Bureau Statistics, the number of the MSMEs business are almost 100%, which is 99%. Where in terms of quantity, there are 64 million MSMEs businesses, while the big businesses are only around 5,400 or 5,500. So it is almost all or almost 100% business in Indonesia are SMEs, and it also contributes around 55% to the GDP of Indonesia. I mean the MSMEs. So it is also critical in terms of the economic contribution to Indonesia. And then also thank you for your research possibility. So I might inform this to my colleagues, and then perhaps there will be something related to the green operations.
Sure. We are. We are looking forward for that.
Thank you. And then, when we talk about green operations, Mr. Carroll first talk about the triple bottom line, where a company needs to pay attention to the economic sustainability, and the environment sustainability and also socially sustainability, where green operations is more related to the second one, which is the environment. So yeah, thank you for sharing the green operations, about the green operations. Now we enter for the question and answer session, where you participants can type the questions on the chat room. You can type it in Indonesian or in English. It's up to you. We can translate it. So I open, please, for you. Also mention to whom you address your question to either to Mr. Cairo or Dr. Komati. Okay, please. I open the chat room.
Or you have any opinion also? I mean, yeah, it's good to share, no problem. It's not maybe if you don't have any question, but you have any suggestion or opinion how we can see things around and so
Also
on. So
for
on.
discussion.
Yeah.
We are also open for discussion related to the topics or any kind of topics related to the operation. Please, those from IBN students and engineering students, please. Because I heard that most of the students here are now taking the green operation subjects. Is that correct? Under the industrial engineering. Anyone from industrial engineering? Johnny, perhaps, or Diana? If the question is not so many, you can unmute yourself and you can speak. I will allow you to unmute yourself. I will enable now. You can unmute yourself. Just please make sure that only the one who speaks unmute themselves, not all. Okay? Anyone? Or Sifani? Any question about the green operations and quality management? This relates to your fundamental of operations management, right? Any comment or feedback or opinion? Please, guys.
Sorry, sir. I would like to ask question to
Okay,
Mr.
please.
Cairo,
Okay, please.
represent for IPN class.
Okay.
In your opinion, sir, remember that Indonesia people need to know more or need knowledge more about how is the green environment important in this era. Is it, in your opinion, is it possible for Indonesia to create a green company, or just like you said that the Assam is really concerned about the green environment? Because I think that people in Indonesia need more curiosity or something about this importance. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Stephanie.
All right. So thank you for the student who asked. I mean, yeah, very good question, basically, right? So basically, to respond to your question, number one, so I need to clarify that when we talk about green operation, it's not necessary you need to make sure from A to Z is green. Okay, it's good. Okay, it's good and it's a perfect if you can make sure from A to Z is everything is green. But somehow people say that 1,000 miles start with a single step, isn't it? So what we can do is maybe in some stages we try to introduce the green practices as simple as save the electricity. That also a green approach. That also a green practices. So as I mentioned earlier in the lecture just now, the supply chain process from the raw material to the end product. So they involve a lot of stages. So during the upstream, upstream in supply chain, what we can do is in terms of the raw material, we look for the environmental friendly material. Okay, as I mentioned just now, the example, the plumber for the Western country and so on and so forth. So to respond to your question, I think it is possible. Okay, that's nothing is impossible basically, right? So it is possible to educate people in Indonesia or maybe also in Malaysia, but we start with a very small step. Okay, for example, maybe in organization we try to reduce the what we call paper usage. That's also a green approach, isn't it? We try to, I mean, we switch off the aircon, we switch off the monitor, PC, and so on and so forth when we left the building, when we left the office, and so on and so forth. So actually, that is also contribute as a green operation, because operation means that all activities involved for your business in producing your product and also in offering your services, isn't it? So as you know just now, I mean, nowadays a lot of things that can be doing online, isn't it? So this is also a green approach. So in terms of how to educate in the Indonesian people to, you know, to involve more in green, we try to start with a very simple things first. So from now on, we upgrade ourselves, you know, from one time to another time. I mean, from one level to another level to make sure we can, hopefully, one day, Malaysia and Indonesia, we can achieve the green industry outcome or output. So, but no problem. We start with a single step, I mean, a small step by introducing any environmental friendly activities. So that how I respond to the question. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Kairo.
sir.
Just to summarize that, Mr. Kairo said that it is difficult to educate the whole A to C supply chain entities. But we need to start from a single supply chain entity. For example, from the supplier or the producer or the distributor or the retailer. We need to start first from a single supply chain entity, not all. And this can also be related to the SMEs, because SMEs can be supplier, can be a producer, can be in the level of a retailer or distributor. Then yeah, we need to start from single one. We need to start from individually, not the whole. Because if we start directly for the whole, it would be much difficult. And start from something easy, something simple, is a good way to start. Every long step starts with a single step, right?
Yeah. I think we have question. I think we have question here in the chat box.
Okay. Now it's a questions from Honglip Go. I would like to know Indonesian general situation in the sustainable development goals. This one is related to operation or to what? Honglip Go is student or lecturer or Mr. Honglip Go?
Yeah, I'm a colleague of Mr. Kairu and also Dr. Komati actually.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just wondering, just want to know a general like the awareness of Indonesia's and also general situations in sustainable development goals. Yes, like you are saying, maybe in the terms of like operational sites. Yeah. How the companies is there any like initiative done by the government to like encourage the big companies or small companies, even SMEs, into like adopting certain sustainable development goals?
Okay. Anyone would like to give opinion? Students? If not, well, as far as I know, that Indonesian government already suggests, and they have kind of advice for the companies, both in for the small and the big one, to apply the green application or green operation or anything related to the green. But as far as I know too, that it is not forcing the companies yet. So they just only suggest it and they just give some guidelines. But as far as I know, not many companies, unless they are big companies, they are multinational companies that already aware the importance of green, or already apply that advice. But most of the smaller companies, they don't really apply already that green advice. I think the same what Mr. Carroll said, that people prefer to pay rather than pay the punishment or penalty rather than they implement or buy a green machine, right? Also because the guideline is also not specific about the what should the green company need to do, but it's also kind of a general, but of course it mentions something about environment and the green. So yeah, I think the advice is there, but the enforcement is not there. Also to add something that we, like Ubaya also have a team that normally helps small medium enterprises to grow. And then, yeah, one of the aspect that I know when we serve the MSMEs, because it is categorized under the community service activity, is try to start applying the green concept. Try to start. That's the KPI. Not directly apply it, but we suggest them try to start not printing the file in a paper, but using things digitally. That kind of try to start, not pushing them to directly apply the green concept. That's what I know related to the green concept in Indonesia in the recent situation. Mr. Carroll, you want to add?
Yeah, I think for what being done Malaysian government, especially for university and also all the government agency, any programs or any activities that being conducted, so they need to match with which SDG group, you know. So for example, when we talk about equality, so let's say the program is about maybe one of the Ministry of Women and Family and Community Development in Malaysia, they organize a program about women's education among women and so on and so forth. So every program that they conduct, they need to match with any SDG that is suitable with the program. So that's how the government try to encourage people or encourage all these governments and also public and also private sector to link up their operation with this SDG goals, Sustainable Development Goals in Malaysia.
Okay, the same in Indonesia. Yeah, but of course we need to remember that every companies, especially for the big one, government, Indonesian government pay attention on that pollution level. If it exceeds the maximum pollution level that are allowed, of course there will be punishment. Well, yeah, that's what in Indonesia is.
Yeah, I think more or less it will be because we are, as I mentioned, because we are from the different region. I mean, we are from the same region. We are also developing countries and so on and so forth. So the stages that we are in now, maybe more or less will be the same. So some of the approach also maybe we can learn from each other. So that's the interesting about Malaysian and Indonesian.
Okay, thank you. Any more opinion, questions? Anyone? From Goldina Fatin? Or from those who take the green course under the industrial engineering, perhaps you would like to add something?
Yeah, I think also it's quite interesting also if we can listen from student perspective, you know, what they learn now, is it how they plan to apply in the future. So maybe we can have volunteer from students to say something about how they see things today and also how they can relate with their futures, especially when
Okay.
in the working environment.
I can also ask students, what do you think the current green concept in Indonesia? What do you see and what do you feel? The current state of green concept in Indonesia, it is already good or it is still confusing, meaning that one of the students asked how to educate, meaning or representing that, signifying that, well, not many people understand about the green concept. So perhaps one of you would like to give your opinion. What do you think or what do you feel the current state of green concept in Indonesia? Because you are from Indonesia, and it would be good for Mr. Khairul and Dr. Komati to uh, listen, and then yeah, perhaps we can exchange and share, make a discussion. Anyone? What do you feel about the current state of green operation or green concept in Indonesia? I mean, do you think you see that green operation quite frequently have been applied in many companies, or you rarely see perhaps, or never see the green concepts are operated? Please, Edward. Daniel, what do you think? Or perhaps Tiffany, Jeremiah? Just just say what is based on what you see and what you feel.
Don't really know, sir, for me.
Really, what?
I do not really know about the green concept in Indonesia.
And do you regularly see certain companies apply that green operations, or you never see, or some you ever see once, or what? Have you seen any companies in Indonesia that apply the green concept?
For me myself, actually, I don't really know, but what I know is that before many years ago, when I was in elementary, the waste in a company or factory that pollute the water is booming. There's many news about this polluted water because of the company waste. But until now, that I feel that the news about this pollution is already decreased. That's why I think Indonesia got better in the green practice.
Okay, so Indonesia is more aware, right? And we can say so. Thank you, Stephanie, for your opinion. That's almost the same with what I say, that, yeah, government already advises, but of course not all have implemented that green operations. One more question then, or one more opinion from you. Let me name one by one. Brigita, any question or opinion? Brigita and Selina.
Yeah, sir. I'm sorry.
Do you have any question or opinion about the green operations in Indonesia, or perhaps you know green operation application overseas? Vijita?
From what I know, these days people from small businesses to big corporations start to do green
Operation.
operations,
Excuse me, your voice is not
but
clear.
not that much.
Not
But
that much.
from that's my voice heard.
Better now. Can you repeat again? Sorry.
Yeah, that's is it clearer now?
Yes, it is now.
Okay. Yeah, from my opinion, from what I know, small businesses and big organizations are starting to do green management and green supply chain in general in Indonesia now, but it's not like broad enough, but they are starting, from my opinion. Compared to the overseas organizations, I think overseas organizations are more concerned about the green operation and green management compared to Indonesia, because as we know, Indonesia is still a developing country. So I suppose they are concerning more about profit and the organization itself, and they're not concerned about the green management yet, but I see that they are starting now.
Okay. Thank you, Vijita. Yeah.
You're welcome, sir.
But that's what happened in Indonesia, supported also by a student. You are from industrial engineering, Vijita?
Yes,
Are
sir.
you?
Yes, I am from
Are
industrial
you
engineering.
a student from industrial engineering or from FBA?
Industrial engineering, sir.
Okay, and you take a green operations course, is it?
Green supply chain
Oh,
management for
green
now.
supply chain. That's the name of the course.
Yes.
Yeah. So most of the students joining this cyber class are students from Green SCM, Mr. Khairul and Dr. Komati.
Okay, good to know that. Good to know that you have this very specific subject. The subject name is Green Supply Chain Management.
Yes. Green supply chain.
Very good.
That's under the industrial.
Ah,
Okay. Farah, do you want to add something before we conclude? Farah, I see your name, Farah. Farah. Farah Sianandia. Farah. Okay, no. Okay then. If there is no questions or things you would like to say to the speakers, then we are now forced to conclude our session. Um, First, I would like to say thank you to the two speakers, Dr. Komati, for your inspiring quality management topic, and also for Mr. Khairul for your green operations. And I believe that the green operations fit well with the green supply chain management course. Of course, related to the QM, it relates to all of the operation management topic. Then, yeah, I would like to say thank you. And then also for the speakers and for the participants, please also accept my apologize if during the cyber class I did something that make you uncomfortable. So please apologize for that. And then as I planned before we conclude, then let us uh, turn on your video and then we will take a group photo. Please turn on all of your video first.
Okay, from the second page, maybe you can turn on your video for a while. Fazil Kawi, Putri, Delia, Jini, Dewi, Ma, Calvin, Nat, Ellie, Ingrid. Okay, let's start from the first page first. Okay, there's mine. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you. Wait a minute. And then move on to the second page. Farah, Hani, Ong, Jini, Dewi, Dian, Natalie, Fazil Kawi. Please turn on your video. Okay. I'll count on 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Sorry, I was mute. So, guys, thank you for the photos. I hope that this cyberclass is useful to add your insight and knowledge related to the quality management and the green operation for all of you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
For the photos, we will send the group photos to the all email address that you registered on the link. Okay, guys?
Yeah.
So thank you
Thank
and
you.
see you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.